Hey, Plumber Tom here. If you're studying from the Mathematics for Plumbers and Pipefitters book, you've come to the right place. I'm glad to help you with your understanding. Don't forget to check in the description below this video for access to books and resources that will help you with your understanding. There are online courses and other things that you can take that will help you prepare for a state test. When you purchase from those links, you're helping me to be able to create more great content. Thanks for watching. Hello, welcome to this presentation of Mathematics for Plumbers and Pipefitters. My name is Thomas, and in this presentation we are going to look at Unit 12, which is Allowance for Plastic Fittings. We've done this already twice, right? We did allowances for steel fittings, we've done allowances for copper fittings, and now we're going to do allowances for plastic fittings. The point of all this is that plumbers have to be taking off for the fitting allowance. We subtract, and you're going to get good at this because you're going to do it all the time and you're going to do it your whole career, and you won't even have to consciously think, oh, I need to take off my fitting allowance. You'll just do it. All right, Unit 12 points out that similar to copper pipe, plastic pipe and fittings have a very narrow tolerance, close tolerance cup, they say, meaning when you slide that fitting over the pipe, the space in between should be really tight. That means we don't have to seal up as much, right? So you push that on there, you got a tight fit, and then of course you use solvent cement in a lot of these that we're looking at today. PEX and other things, yeah, there's a different type, but usually, you know what, we don't really do fitting allowances or takeoffs for PEX. We just cut and run, right? We're talking about when you're pipe fitting with the drainage type fittings, you're going to do a little more of this fitting takeoff type stuff, right? And we previously looked at the different weights, the three different weights, Schedule 40, Schedule 80, Schedule 120 for PVC pipe, but we're going to focus this time on the fitting and the fitting allowance. We have this fitting diagram in Unit 12. This should look very familiar to you if you've been through Unit 10, right? We looked at this with copper. Across the top of this diagram we have CF. This is the center to face measurement. To get our fitting allowance, which is G, we need to subtract the depth. That is how far the pipe pushes into the fitting and stops. So that's a basic explanation of the fitting allowance, right? And that is what we will be subtracting in our exercises today. As we are doing our sample problem and exercises today, remember to keep a finger or a marker in data table 5 and 6 in the appendix. We'll be referring to those, and notice that we'll be dealing with the PVC takeoffs or the fitting allowances. These are in the columns on the far right side below the images of the PVC fittings. So onto our sample problem. It says solve for end-to-end length of pipe K. We see K is the length from center of the 90 to the center of the 45 in this diagram. And we need to figure out what our cut is going to be. So we're going to have to subtract for the fitting allowance for the 90 on the left and the 45 on the right. Now again, we are told the type of pipe and the size. Here at the bottom we have 3/4 inch PVC pipe. We're going to take that information to data table 5, and on data table 5 in the appendix we're going to go down to the 3/4 inch pipe size line. We come to that, we follow that row across to where we have the PVC columns. Let's look at the PVC 90s. And the fitting allowance for a PVC 90 3/4 inch is going to be 9/16 of an inch. That's what we'll subtract for the 90. Let's look at the 45. We're on the same row, but we look over here in this column, and we've got 5/16 of an inch is the fitting allowance for a 3/4 inch PVC 45. That's the information we need. We'll subtract both of those off of our center to center measurement. That brings us to step 3 of our sample problem as we're solving this. It says find end-to-end measure. The end-to-end equals center to center. That's the total fitting allowance. They messed up on this again. I can see that. They forgot to put the subtraction. Oh, skip that line. Let's go to the next one. End to end equals 10. 10 inches was given to us as the center to center measurement. We are going to subtract the two fitting allowances. So we see in parentheses 9/16 plus 5/16. That was the fitting allowance for the 90 and the 45. On the next line, we have end to end equals 10, our center to center measurement, minus 7/8. We get that from the fact that 9/16 plus 5/16 equals 14/16. And we can simplify that. You take 2 out of the top, 2 out of the bottom. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 16 divided by 2 is 8. That's how we simplify this fraction into 7/8. So we have 10 minus 7/8 of an inch. Our end-to-end measurement, this is the measurement we would cut, is 9 1/8 of an inch. Now it's time for you to do your exercise problems. We have 5 problems here in Unit 12. Similar to the ones we've done in the past, you're going to look at this table. The second column is going to give you your center-to-center measurements. That's what you're going to start with. The third column here is going to give you your pipe size. We already know from this unit that we're dealing with PVC pipe, so follow it down, find the pipe size. The fourth column there is going to give you the elbows. Once again, numbers 1 and 2 say 90. Remember to put a 90 on both sides of that pipe and subtract twice. Finally, you'll get your end-to-end measurements. That's the answer you're going for. Ultimately, these exercises are intended to emphasize to you and I the importance of subtracting for fittings as we are cutting our pipes so that we can get our pipes to install exactly how we want them when we're doing offsets or whatever we're piping. This way we can make sure that they are installed professionally. One other note there, as emphasized in this unit, make sure that you are always measuring the fittings you actually have in hand at the job. Don't be turning to any data tables here if you're out there on the job. You want to be using what you have because that is going to be exact. Good luck subtracting fitting allowances. Make that a personal habit for your entire career. I'll see you next time.